Spurs target electric £60 million. Solanke upgrade who's on par with Harry Kane. Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. According to a recent report from the Mirror, Tottenham are one of several sides interested in Eintracht Frankfurt star attacker Omar Marmoush. In fact, alongside the Lilywhites, the report revealed that Manchester United, Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain had scouts in attendance to watch the Egyptian international on Thursday night in the Europa League. Unfortunately for Spurs, as well as having to get ahead of the competition, they'll have to cough up a hefty fee if they want to secure the 25-year-old his services in 2025. As the report claims, it will take an offer of around £60 million to convince the German side into selling. It'll be a complicated and costly transfer to get over the line, but given Marmoush's incredible ability, it is worth pursuing, even if it could be bad news for Solanke. Okay, so if Spurs decide to splash the cash and bring Marmoush to the club in January or in the summer, they wouldn't do so with the intention of making him a bench option. Instead, he'd likely come in as a direct rival for Solanke for the starting number 9 role, and based on their respective performances so far this season, he already looks like an upgrade. For example, in just 19 appearances for Frankfurt this year, the electric forward, as football presenter Dougie Critchley described him, has scored a whopping 17 goals and provided 11 assists for good measure. Remarkably, that is only one goal involvement shy of Harry Kane's haul for Bayern Munich in the same country. In contrast, the former Bournemouth star has managed to score 6 goals and provide 3 assists in 17 appearances, which isn't terrible but does come out to a much worse average of a goal involvement every 1.88 games. Ultimately, it's evident that, at present, Marmoush is the far more dangerous striker of the two. And while Solanke could still be a valuable player for Spurs, the club should do what they can to sign the Frankfurt ace next year before someone else beats them to him. Spurs' pursuit of Jamie Gittens could turn out to be more complicated than the Premier League side anticipated, as a mega offer will have to be made to get the player out of Borussia Dortmund in January. The injuries to Wilson Odobert and Richarlison have exposed the lack of depth in the Spurs forward line over recent weeks. One player who has reportedly caught Tottenham's eye is Jamie Gittens, with Bild reporting this week that the Lilywhites are batting Liverpool and Chelsea for the 20-year-old. Sky Germany reporter Patrick Berger has now provided an update on Gittens' future, with the journalist also naming Spurs as one of the clubs eyeing the pacey winger. However, he explains that the Englishman is not in a hurry to leave Dortmund and wants to spend at least one more year at the Westfalenstadion. While his long-term future is expected to be in the Premier League, it will take a huge offer to get the youngster out of the Bundesliga club in January. Berger claims that Dortmund will send back any offers in the £50 million range for the player and will give in if they receive a bid of around £75 million. Spurs usually tend to do most of their shopping in the £30 million to £50 million range, which is why it is difficult to see them shattering their transfer record to sign Gittens. Further, the Lilywhites have traditionally not been big spenders in January, and would thus likely be prioritising other wingers over the Dortmund man. David Ornstein has revealed that one Premier League starlet wanted by Tottenham Hotspur is soon expected to end up at one of the big six. While Liam Delap had been thought of as an exciting prospect for quite a long time at Manchester City, he never quite got enough game time to showcase his qualities for Pep Guardiola's side. The 21-year-old has wasted no time improving his mettle at the highest level since his summer move to Ipswich Town, having scored 6 goals in 13 Premier League matches this season. Over recent weeks, several outlets have revealed that Tottenham are keen on snapping up the youngster, who is also wanted by the likes of Arsenal, Aston Villa and Newcastle. The Athletic's David Ornstein has now claimed that even though Delap only made the move to Portman Road Stadium back in the summer, the youngster's stay at the newly promoted club could be short-lived. He claims that the striker has been tracked by many Premier League clubs for a long time, and in light of his impressive showing for Ipswich, several of the Big Six could come calling for him soon. Interestingly, Ornstein states that City could technically scupper Delap from joining one of their Big Six rivals. The report points out that the Premier League champions usually add either a buyback clause or a right-to-match clause in most of their sales. However, Orenstein does not specifically reveal if City have done so in Delap's case, which suggests that the information is not known publicly. Danny Murphy recently claimed that Liam Delap could be the heir to Harry Kane, which is something Tottenham would surely like to find. Tottenham players are catching the eye of Europe's top teams with the January transfer window around the corner. Spurs' defence often receives significant scrutiny. The way the team plays means that opponents often create in the region of 1.0 xG per game. This makes it all the more impressive that they are amongst the collection of teams to concede the fewest goals in the Premier League. Additionally, with injuries to Mickey van der Ven and Christian Romero, it is the inconsistent team results taking away from some impressive individual defensive performances. Tottenham have previously completed some mutually beneficial transfers with Juventus, but according to Totosport, the Italian giants are looking to bring back a former player, Radu Dragusin. Dragusin only earned a few minutes in Juventus's first team, but is thought to be appreciated by his old club as they look for defensive reinforcements this January. Totosport additionally commented that any potential deal would be dependent on Tottenham's progression in their cup tournaments, which would affect Dragusin's potential minutes going forward. Some have questioned Radu Dragusin's suitability for Postecoglou's possession-based system. However, considering how frequently Spurs have suffered injuries to their defenders, the idea that they might reduce their squad depth in that area mid-season is highly unlikely. Tottenham still have 2 Europa League matches and an FA Cup fixture to be played in January. Dragusin will likely play in all of those games if available, so it would take an astronomical bid for Spurs to consider inconveniencing themselves in this way. That's it for today's update. If you liked the video and want to keep up with everything Tottenham, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for our latest content. Remember to give this video a thumbs up and share it with other Spurs fans. Let's build our Tottenham News Today community together. Thanks for watching, and as always, come on you Spurs.